So the Bible says when Jesus was headed towards Jerusalem, he was going there to be part of one of the celebrations that the Jewish people were about to have, a feast in Jerusalem. And when he comes into Jerusalem, the Bible specifically mentions the entrance through which Jesus comes into Jerusalem. In the history of Israel, especially Jerusalem, when Nehemiah rebuilt the walls, by the time he had rebuilt it, it had been reduced to 8 gates, 8 entrances through which people would enter into Jerusalem. And every gate had different names. There was a gate called the Fish Gate. That was where people who had gone out fishing would bring the fish through that gate. That was the Fish Gate. And there was another gate called the Valley Gate, which was basically, the gate was facing a valley, the valley of Hinnom. And so it was called the Valley Gates. And then there was another gate that was called the Dung Gates. Refuse, like garbage. That's what was being sent out of the city. So they called it the Dung Gate, the garbage gate, But this gate that John mentions, he says, Jesus came in through the sheep gate. Yeah. And so when John makes a mention of Jesus coming through the sheep gate, and if you just read the preceding chapters of John, you would have also read where John the Baptist calls Jesus as a lamb who takes away the sins of the world. And so here was John making this kind of like connection, saying, here's Jesus, the lamb who takes away the sins of the world, entering through the sheep gate into Jerusalem during a festival. And meaning there's significance to it because at one point in history, that gate was used by the Jewish people to bring in all the sheep that were to be slaughtered. And that was what the entrance would have been through which the sheep to be slaughtered for the sin would be brought in. And so when John kind of saying, I want the readers to make the connection that Jesus is special. Jesus is a fulfillment of prophecy. Jesus, everything he does has significance. And just his entrance into Jerusalem during a time of the feast through the sheep gate had significance, is basically what John was saying.